Yeah, where are all my people in the madhouse? I'll be a guide, climb aboard and sit your ass down. Don't worry, there's no need to fear when you hear. You know we're right here. We got the crew and we're ready for a game time. You're not ready to step inside a deranged mind. Yeah, this is what you came here for. We got machinima news and fuck yous. It's the goddamn ward.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Wardcast. Every Monday we bring you the latest in video game news, talk about survival horror, machinima, and what's going on at the Ward. I'm one of your hosts, Shaun Clark, alongside Yaz Rich, Alec Funnell,
your father will pay the price for destroying the Imperial rule,
and Alyssa Camps.
Hi.
Hello. I have nothing prepared this week because YouTube didn't do anything. Yay!
How dare they? These bastards!
What?
I rely on them for a segment in the show, and they're like, no, we're just gonna keep it on the download this week. Now, this week has been weird. Like, there's zero news out there. Like, there's nothing for me to complain about. And I was like, hey, this is progress. But
you've got nothing to complain about. You said I was grumpy.
But the only reason why there's nothing to complain about is because there's no news. So is it really a victory? I don't know.
It is.
And there's not much news, but one of the items is going to be like a whole thing. It's very long. And so I figured we just kind of, move things along a little bit quicker this time, just in case, because I don't know how long that's going to end up. So with that said, Alec, how was your week?
Yeah, my week was tiring. That's probably why I'm so grumpy.
Because you go sleep. Well, not now, but get some sleep. You grumpy fuck.
Oh.
Or wait,
I was stuck on mute.
Is this part of your process? Like you neglect yourself from getting sleep so that you can be angry and therefore be an evil British person? Is that like the cycle?
Or am I just in character?
Who knows?
Well, we never know.
Yeah. I'm not really that grumpy, really. I'm happy that I got a laptop. Yeah, big news. I got a laptop. Yay!
Yay!
Yeah.
It's about goddamn time.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. That's awesome. Hey, look, I understand. My computer died and I didn't have a computer for like 8 years. So
Oh my god.
I understand.
This laptop's got Intel i3, so I'm like, it's doing things normally and smoothly.
It's not a piece of shit. What?
I know. It's not usual. And so I'll leave a few bits with the laptop for the updates. But it's been playing around with that. Been watching Avatar for some strange reason.
You can't just say Avatar.
Okay, the last bender.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Wait, the movie or the show?
The Nickelodeon crap.
Okay.
What?
The Nickelodeon crap.
I mean,
Well,
not wrong.
Alex was telling me that I had to watch this show. And I'm like, okay, let me watch it. I'm on season 2 now, about episode 12 into season 2, and I'm just like, when's it gonna get good?
Is that a horse? What is happening?
That was me twiddling my fingers.
Oh, okay.
Being impatient.
I was close.
Because I'm evil.
Yeah, that show takes a minute to get really good.
Oh, God. I mean, I had to keep watching it. I mean,
Yeah.
can't I just say that I watched it?
I always feel dumb saying shit like that. It's like, it gets good later. Like, you gotta ignore the first season. It gets good after that. Because that just sounds ridiculous. But sometimes it's true. Like Buffy, the first season, not great. Not great. But everything else, fucking amazing.
No, Supernatural, that's just great from the start. It's just like...
Even Supernatural, well...
Get out.
Listen.
Get the fuck out.
The earlier stuff is better than the later stuff, for one.
Yeah.
But the first season, I felt, was... It was a little rocky. When I first saw it, I wasn't sure that I was going to like it. Like, it wasn't bad or anything, but
that's how I felt.
it felt kind of just like I could take or leave it. And then it got really good from there. Kind of like Buffy.
Okay, deleting friends. Sure.
I think Jazz is going to delete me too because she got offended when I said Buffy.
I already did.
But yeah, other than that, didn't get a lot done because I actually started my new job.
Yay!
Woo, yay!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That was the saddest yeah.
Well, yeah, he started work. I mean,
That's
you can't be
true.
that happy for him.
You're right. Yay money. There you go.
There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone's got to run this country. I mean, it might as well be me. Oh yeah, Brexit happened. The UK's finally left Europe for some reason.
Woo!
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I live under a rock, excuse me.
Okay, did you
Well-
seriously not know about this?
No, I have no clue. I live under a rock, Alec.
Right, well, you might have to get away from your rock because the rock's fucking leaving as well. So.
Wow.
Okay.
But yeah, in a nutshell, the UK Prime Minister was like, "Oh, let's have a vote on if we leave the European Union," and half of the UK said, "Yeah, let's fuck off," and so we fucked off. It only took like a year and a half to finally fuck off since the vote.
Can I have Alec be my history teacher? I like the way he explains things.
So yeah, that was fun.
Nice.
We're in the process of fucking off.
Yeah, I fucked off. I fucked off a day ago.
So does that mean anything like impactful to your just day-to-day life?
No, hang on. Let me look out the window. The sky is still blue. The cat's still on fire. Yeah, no, it's all normal.
Ah, okay.
Great.
Other than that, I played Resident Evil Outbreak and Fighting Force, and that's all I'm going to say right now.
Yay. Somebody else that likes Outbreak. It's so beautiful.
I have it. I just
Yeah.
haven't really played it. I played it for a little bit to make sure it worked, and then that was it.
I don't understand why people shit on that game. It's I get that it's not perfect. It has problems, but it's good.
I shit on everything, so I mean,
Wow.
we have determined this in the chat.
You might want to take some medications for that. Other than that, I'm everyone. It's all in me. Anything you want done, baby, I'll do it naturally.
Oh.
Diz, how was your week?
My week was sorry, I'm stretching. My week was it was alright. I beat a game. My first game of 2020, everybody.
What?
I beat Breath of the Wild in like 15 days, which is a record for me.
Good
Very
job.
surprised. Yeah, I'm very surprised. I was a little disappointed, but also I had a good time anyway. So whatever. And now I'm working on Judgment. I took a break for a while.
That's a confusing statement. It was good, but it was disappointing. What?
Well, the adventure was good. The final boss was disappointing. That's what that
There
was.
you go.
There you go. I don't really watch anything. Oh well, I watched Ruby. I caught up on Ruby, but that's it.
I thought you had already been caught up.
Well, I don't have Rooster Teeth first, so I have to wait till the Saturday. So I watched the episode they made free today. And I gotta wait till next week.
How many seasons are they in? Or seasons? How many episodes are they in this season?
I just watched episode 12, and there's 13 next week.
So
and I think that's the last episode.
Where
I'm
can you
not
go
sure.
to see it for free? I didn't even know you could do that.
It's Rooster Teeth, but you have to wait the next Saturday for it to be free.
Oh.
Yeah. But all the way up until the episode they just released, it's all free on their website.
Well, I
So,
know
yeah.
what I'm doing later.
Please. We need
The
to
last
talk.
season was so good.
We need to talk.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, sleep deprivation because because of Zelda, but it's fine. I'm good. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Jess. How was your week?
It was garbage.
Oh,
Garbage. I've been
freaking
sick.
God.
I've been sick all week. Like super sick. I'm still sick.
Well, you're keeping up the quota. Somebody's got to be sick.
Yeah.
It's true.
So it's often me though.
You're
I'm
right.
getting a lot of fucking tests done to try to figure out why that is. Yeah.
Well, it's me a lot too. So.
Challenge.
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, I
Well-
feel the nasty in my throat.
Oh no! Don't do it. We can't have multiple sick people. For me, it's just like when I get sick, like I'm gonna be sick for like 3 or 4 podcasts because when I get sick, I get fucking sick. It doesn't want to go away forever. So I try not to get sick because I don't like it. It ruins like a third of my year. It's not good.
Jeez.
Third of your year.
Yeah, because I'm sick for like 3 fucking months. 6 months. What's math? Help!
6 months is half.
Go on, Jess.
Yeah, so I haven't really done anything. All I did this week really was play A Plague Tale and rewatched Stranger Things.
It's kind of ironic, isn't it?
Why?
Playing A Plague Tale while you have the plague.
It's probably just the coronavirus. Everybody hate Chinese people.
Wow!
Oh my God!
Haven't ordered anything from China recently. You know,
There's so many fucking people are annoying online.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's all that's going around now. There's like people going like, "Hey, idiot, it's not the coronavirus. You're just fucking dumb. Go back to bed."
That always happens. Like whenever there's this like some virus or whatever pops up out of nowhere and starts to spread, and then everybody freaks the fuck out and everybody thinks they have it. It's normal.
Oh yeah,
I just hope that I don't die. That's literally it. I just hope I don't die.
I don't even drink Corona.
How can I get the coronavirus when I don't drink Corona? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. And it's not even a Chinese beer, so obviously everybody's freaking out over nothing. Idiots.
How do you get a Chinese disease or virus from Mexico? It doesn't make sense.
Takeout.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I platinum Plague's Tale.
Yay!
Now I have nothing
You
left
did
to play
it.
in that game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thought you said nothing left to play at all, and I'm just like, oh, okay, wow.
Yep, I got 1 platinum, so now I just don't need to play anything
I'm
anymore.
giving up video games. I got 1 platinum. I'm
sell
done.
My PlayStation.
Yeah. No, don't sell it. Break it.
I look at all the games that I have, and I just like I don't want to work on a trophy. Like I just don't want to do all that again with another game.
Wow.
Because I actually enjoy playing Plague's Tale over and over because the story is that good. But like, not all of my games are like that.
But didn't you feel accomplished when you got that trophy?
Yeah, but I felt annoyed too.
Well, yeah.
That's all I did all week.
Speaking of platinum millions, what's the scoreboard? Because I think I was on 18, like Shaun.
What? You have 18?
No, 18 to go.
Oh, I was like, it's fucking February.
Damn,
Okay.
Alec's been working.
Well, I'm close to like 4, so I'm gonna get like 4 soon. There you go. And like I was saying before, well, I'll talk about that later. It's fine.
I have none because I love myself.
Well, I hate myself, and I'm proud of it.
We all hate you.
I know.
Oh,
I just peer pressure. I
don't
gotta hate
hate
myself as well.
I don't hate Sean. I just dislike you.
Wow, that's worse.
That's worse.
Somehow it's worse.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
I'm not like competing. If I can get them done, that's fine. No, I realized how much pain in the ass, and I get really frustrated replaying the same stuff over and over. So I don't
how
want to
about
put
this? Since you're a whiny little baby.
Wow. Okay. How was your week, Shaun? How was your week, Shaun?
Since you get frustrated easily,
I'm getting frustrated right now.
how about your goal?
Leave this podcast
forever. How about your goal is 10? You're already one
That's
up.
what the fucking goal was.
Well, you were supposed to be on our level. we're going for 20. So if you just
You guys had said 10.
No.
No,
Fucks.
It's always
we
been
said
20.
No,
20
you guys said
20
10. I was
Pretty
Pretty
sure you said
2020.
10 because I was like, what idiot's gonna sit there and replay 20 games?
God damn it!
in
Now
a
I gotta go
year.
listen to the podcast again. But I'm telling you, we said 20. But anyways, just do 10. 9 more. You got what?
No.
10 months to do 8
If
games?
I do them, I'll do them. If I don't, I don't. I don't like competing. I don't want to compete.
You
get
play
really
hockey.
competitive.
I'm not competitive.
Jesus
I'm-
Christ.
Shaun, how was your
competitive.
week, Shaun?
Terrible. I hate everyone in my life.
Oh my god.
And everyone hates you.
We know.
Oh.
What did I do? I watched more Parks and Rec, and that's kind of it. just kind of watched that, and I've been kind of addicted to this show called Hot Ones on YouTube. It's
I love that.
yeah, it's an interview show where they
I
like
love
eat
that
progressively hotter chicken wings over the course of the conversation, and
Oh yeah, I've seen the Stone Cold of Austin.
yeah, it's just funny to see like how different people react to taking the spice because everybody's so different. Like literally, some people look like they're going to die. Other people, it's like nothing happened. Other people get all like fucking loopy, like they're on drugs. It's really interesting to see.
The Gordon Ramsay one is pretty awesome.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would complain as much as he did. Well, I did, but not the way that he did. Because like it was almost like whiny. I thought he would be more critical. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was weird,
Yeah.
but it's funny. It was a good episode. But anyways, Hot Ones. It's funny. I like it.
It's awesome.
And there's like a
Like the-
bajillion episodes. It's fucking crazy.
Yes.
I played more Gwent. I only need 3 or 4 more trophies on that. And since the platinum is unobtainable, once I get those trophies, I'm counting that as one of my platinums because that is a
I'll accept
bitch.
it.
Nah.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
Uh-huh.
Nah.
It really pisses me off that through patches, they can go in and just break a game like that. That is not my fault. And I've spent just as much time in that game as anybody else would have getting that platinum. So that's not my fucking fault. It's
Not my fucking problem either.
wow.
Damn. Oh my god.
This coming from somebody that got the platinum and my name is Mayo. Get fucked.
Look, at least I'm winning, bitch.
Wow.
Oh,
Spiciness.
I'm being evil this week.
Speaking
I
of
like
hot
this
one.
ones, god
this is a
damn.
brutal podcast. Holy shit.
Alec is getting meaner by the episode.
One episode, all you're gonna hear is him leave, and then you're just gonna hear your door open, and then you just get stabbed.
Oh no.
It appears Alex has just stabbed me, and then you like die.
The end. But
Best podcast. No.
yeah, Jazz helped me get one of those trophies though, so thank you. That was nice.
Nice.
Yeah. And then Jazz and I played some more Saints Row 4, and we decided that we're gonna go and try to do the platinum. That one's not too bad. It's just super grindy, so we should be able to get that one.
Ooh, get it.
Just don't give up, Jazz. You can do it.
It came up a long time ago.
Wow. Wow. I almost started the Walking Dead collection or the definitive edition or whatever the fuck it's called. But I was going to stream it, but it took me like 2 hours to set up everything because I'm new to streaming and I don't understand any of it. So I had to work through that. And by the time it was all set up and ready to go, it was too late. So I didn't play that, but I'm going to. And that should be an easy platinum, Alec, you fuck. I literally, well, kind of. It's harder than the typical Telltale game because since it's like what, 4 games or 5 games in one. So like normally when you play through a Telltale game, it's just play through the game and you got the platinum. But since it's multiple games, you have to go through all those games to get the one platinum. So it's not as cheesy. So you actually kind of got to work towards it because it's going to take some time. But again, it's just time. It's not difficult. But that'll probably be one of my first, depending on how long that takes me. Because I think each game's only, I don't know, 4 hours or something like that. It shouldn't be too bad. And I've already gone through the first 2, so like it should be pretty easy because I know what I'm doing more or less. Easy. Other than that, I've just been spending a lot of time kind of just working on projects and trying to wrap things up and whatever. So I didn't spend a whole lot of time on games. I was responsible. I got work done. But I'm saying that here because like it's just miscellaneous things done across tons of different projects. So I don't really have any like updated milestones to really say, hey, I've got an update. So I've just been working a lot on all kinds of stuff. And once I get to the milestones and I have something to talk about, then I will talk about that in the updates. But I am working on a lot of stuff. So just know that.
Yay!
Yeah, that was kind of my week. It's time for some news.
Ooh, news.
Well, that's a new slogan. Ooh, news.
Oh, news. Gross. We talk about video games on this podcast. What?
Oh no.
Jesus Christ. We got 3 items on the docket this week. 3 whole items.
3?
Massive news week.
Massive.
Wow. Why did I use that word? Damn it. But one of them is real long, so there's a lot to go over. But this week's news is entirely horror related, which is kind of cool. So given that, we're going to do this week's survival horror talk as kind of discussion about the news. So we'll kind of mix those 2 segments into one. So we'll see how that goes.
To become one.
Really?
Yes.
You shit.
Evil.
Evil shit.
He sings a Spice Girl. Well, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I was going to say he sings a Spice Girl song and then says he's evil, but then it made sense strangely in my head. But first up, Silent Hill is apparently coming back hard. Last week we talked about Silent Hill potentially coming back with not just 1 but 2 new games. In addition to that, apparently there's a new Silent Hill movie that's going to be coming out as well. Director Christoph Gans, who directed the original film, will make a return to do the next iteration, which I guess is good because the first one wasn't terrible.
Is that good?
Well,
I was like, is that good? Because I haven't seen the first one.
It's for a video game movie. It's good.
Okay. By that standard, it's good. Okay.
Yeah, like they took some liberties, and so it's kind of like the Resident Evil 4 of Silent Hill because it took the series in a different direction. You know, it's
so
like
it sucked. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I just looked it up. Mila Jovovich is going to star in Silent Hill 3.
Jovovich.
No. Wait, what? That's not true.
I
you
knew
fuck.
It was when he said
As Pyramid Head.
Oh no, that would be amazing. I would watch that.
The best description of that movie would be, I haven't played Silent Hill, but I really enjoyed the movie. So if you don't know the game, like I know they probably messed up a lot of shit, but if you don't know the game, like it's still a pretty good movie.
That's interesting.
It's spooky.
Yeah, because that's fair. Because the problems that I had with it were all tied back to the game, like things that they changed.
Yeah,
but yeah, and the CG was. It's all right.
The scene with the nurses, though, fucking, I wanted to pee my pants.
Yeah, some of the scenes were done really, really
I didn't
well.
like that.
I like the cop.
Looks like I have a movie to watch.
If it was the director of the second movie, I would be concerned because that is garbage. There's no redemption for that movie. It's fucking shit.
Yeah, Silent Hill 2, Ashley takes a fucking walk in town.
What?
She's Ashley.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're pretty much
like Ashley.
But yeah, so at least they got the good director to come back, and at least he kind of knows the material and stuff like that. But anyways, like I was saying before we derailed there, The first movie just kind of like they kind of filled in some blanks and like explained a story, or they explained the story that's happening in the game when the game didn't give you those answers. So they just kind of filled it in. And then after that point, since the game series kind of switched hands from the Japanese team to an American team, they started to adapt all the changes that they made in the movie. So it kind of took the direction of the story into a completely different direction, which is essentially what killed the franchise because nobody liked it. So that's kind of why it's kind of shit on more than it probably needs to be, because it isn't a bad movie. But yeah, don't watch the second movie.
I didn't even know there was a second movie.
Watch the
So,
first one.
all right.
But in a interview with a French magazine, Gans had the following to say, quote, "I have 2 horror film project." What?
I just picture like in an interview with the French magazine, he said, quote,
Quote. Wow. He said, "I have 2 horror film projects with Victor Hadida. I'm working on the adaptation for the video game Project Zero, known as Fatal Frame in the United States. The film will take place in Japan. I especially don't want to..." What?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
"The film will take place in Japan. I especially don't want to uproot the game from its Japanese haunted house setting. And we're also working on Silent Hill. The project will always be anchored in the atmosphere of a small American Midwestern town. I think it's time to make a new one." End quote. Now, what's the problem?
I thought you were talking about the Silent Hill movie, and then you said Fatal Frame, and I was like, this idiot doesn't even know what game he's doing.
Yeah,
But then you
because he's
continued, I was
doing
like,
the 2. Yeah.
I figured there was more. That's why I
Fatal
stopped.
Frame.
Which is also interesting because I really like Fatal Frame, and that could be a good movie, but it could be a real bad movie too. So I don't know.
I like Fatal Frame.
I
But
really
this
like
isn't
Fatal.
super. I mean, it's surprising because it's a Silent Hill thing, because Silent Hill's been dead for so long, and now it's like Silent Hill's all over the place. They're making more, like 2 games and a movie's coming out, and like all this came out of fucking nowhere. It's weird.
Chill
But-
out. I still gotta catch up.
But it makes sense that like this would be the time to do it, because
Movie games.
game movies are making a comeback in a big way. You know, Sonic and Monster Hunter and DDR and all these fucking crazy movies are
What?
coming up out of nowhere, and
What?
yeah. And then they're rebooting Resident Evil, and like video game movies are just making a big comeback. So I guess they're just trying to take advantage of that happening. So I guess now's the
I
time to
really
do it.
live under a fucking rock. I didn't even know about
Do you
anybody.
live in Arkansas?
No, I live in a cornfield, I guess.
Oh,
Never mind.
wow. But yeah, so with that said, let's talk about Silent Hill for a minute. Have you guys seen both of the movies? We talked a little bit about that. Diz, you
Yes.
have not seen any of them.
No.
And then Jazz, you saw both?
So I have the first one. I don't remember if I have the second one, but I did see it on Netflix
Oof.
once, and I don't remember any of
There's
it.
a reason for that.
Yeah, except for like the big reveal, but yeah.
Did you know that Kit Harington is in that from Game of Thrones?
I
Oh my god.
don't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't know who that is. I know Steve
that
Harrington.
garbage?
Is
Wow.
Steve Harrington in it?
Wow.
Yeah.
How about you, Alec? Have you seen any of the Silent Hill movies?
Yeah.
Oh, the
So
enthusiasm
sad.
is overwhelming.
Hey,
Yeah.
the fun fact: the kid who plays, kid. What's the kid's name in the Silent Hill movie?
Cheryl?
I thought that was the mom.
No.
Okay, anyway, I don't remember it. The kid who plays that kid is the one who plays Raven in Titans.
What? Oh my god, it is.
Yep.
Wow.
The kid actually went on to do things.
It's a miracle.
Who?
That's
Curse.
great. Wow. God, you're such a
Dang.
crab.
I'm evil. Right.
Evil crab.
Evil British crab.
Just because he's still got crabs, don't blame me.
Wow.
Oh my god, there's spies infiltrating Sean's place.
Not
Are they
again. Wait,
evil
what?
Crab?
He sent his crab minions.
Oh, crab battle.
Crab mignons.
Oh, crab battle.
Be
So,
real.
Alec, you didn't like either of them at all?
I I like the first one. I like this scene where the cop
Excuse me?
is on that stick.
Excuse me?
I think he said cop. He said cop.
I don't think so.
The officer is on a fiery stick.
Wait, what? This isn't getting
Wow,
better.
hey, no spoilers. Diz hasn't seen it.
She probably won't watch it anyway.
I think he's watching the wrong Silent Hill.
Did they make a porn movie out of Silent Hill? What is this?
It would have been better.
Oh,
Wow, you're probably right.
Silent Hillbillies. Theater.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, if you could pick like what the third movie is going to be based on, like what would you want it to be? Would you want them to take another shot at doing the original game again, or would you rather see them do like Silent Hill 2, since originally they went Silent Hill 1 and then they skipped to 3? They never did a Silent Hill 2 movie. Like what would you want out of it?
I would want Silent Hill 4.
You son of a bitch.
Where they can put
Ew.
all the cocks on fire sticks.
However, why don't they do Silent Hill 4 with the element of 2? So he's in his apartment and he's trying to escape, and then he's finding clues to his dead wife that he ended up killing.
so they
Yeah, I wouldn't like
skipped
that.
for the movies. They skipped the second game and they just went to 3.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense because 2 was its own story. Like 1 and 3 are directly related. Like 3 is technically a
see.
continuation of 1.
I see.
So I guess I get it, but it still would have been nice, especially considering that Silent Hill 2 is the most well-known and most loved Silent Hill out of the entire franchise. For them to just completely skip over that is kind of a weird choice. But whatever.
I guess I would rather them skip over it than make it bad.
There's that too.
If it's the most well known, don't
dodged
make it bad.
a bullet.
Yeah,
they were just
come for you.
They were afraid to touch it because of the internet.
Exactly. As they should be afraid. The internet's a scary place.
Jesus. Well, since me and Alec are the only Silent Hill fans here, I guess.
I have them. I have them.
What did you say, Alec?
You said Silent Hill fans, and I was like, since when have I been a fan?
Oh!
Since I'm the only Silent Hill fan here, I would like to see them, since they're starting over anyways, potentially, I'd like them to just start it too and do it right, give it the budget that it needs, stay true to the story. We've already had that conversation a million times, stay true to the subject matter of the original, turn it into a film. I think if they give it a good director and a good budget and enough time, I think that could be really, really cool. And it could get more Silent Hill fans invested in a new set of games, since they're going to be bringing that back and remaking the first one and doing whatever that spin-off game is or whatever that we talked about. Like, they could build an audience through the movie to go and buy those games. It would be like the perfect storm, but they're not going to do that because that makes too much sense. So we'll see.
Yeah.
They're probably going to do like Alex said and base it off of Silent Hill 4.
No,
shit game.
I got it. The movie is going to be based on Silent Hill Pachinko.
No, they'll do it after Homecoming. No, they'll do it after fucking Book of Memories.
Oh.
The best Silent Hill game
Jesus.
ever. What about a new Silent Hill game? Would you give a shit to see that, Alec? Probably not, since you're not a Silent Hill fan, you fuck.
But I don't have to be a fan to not play it. I mean, I can play it. It's like I played My Name is Mayo. Am I a fan of that? No. But I still played it.
I like Mayo. Mayo's good.
God damn it.
Oh my god, Jeff.
I love that we're like survival horror focused and like nobody likes Silent Hill except for me, and that's like one of the two biggest.
I haven't played it. I have them.
God damn it.
I played part of the first one. I have 1 through 3 on my shelf. I just gotta play them.
Well, there you go. You were looking for games to complete. There you go.
They're on the agenda.
Start with Silent Hill 1. It's quick. It's good. Go have fun. You can beat it in like 5 hours.
I'm on it.
Good. then I can talk to somebody about Silent Hill. Well, you'll probably hate it too. I don't know.
Wow.
Everybody else seems to hate it. I don't know.
I'll give it a chance.
Okay. That's
It's
fair.
not that everyone hates it, Sean. It's just
You guys. I
everyone
know.
doesn't want to like the same thing you do.
Wow. The majority of survival horror fans like Silent Hill, I'll have you know. So get fucked. Second story, god damn it. Ninja Theory is working on a new psychological horror game called Project Mara. They need to stop with the project shit. I'm getting tired of saying project what the fuck ever. Insert
Project ass.
stupid name. Yeah, Project Ass. They need to stop.
Project Alice.
Alice? What?
Don't
Oh,
fuck yourself.
get the...
He's like, what?
Damn it. Yeah. So the developer, having previously tackled mental health issues in Hellblade through symbolic representation, Project Mara aims to delve deeper into true mental terror. The game will focus on realistic imagery and symptoms. The game is supposedly experimental and based on the game's reception may be the start of a new and immersive storytelling medium. Whatever the fuck that means.
I want it.
Ninja Theory released a short trailer that showed off a photorealistic environment and a brief glimpse of a not so impressive character model, which kind of makes it hard to know what to expect visually. But it sounds more interesting than it looks, just because I think the realistic looking shots were I think they were actual like real life like camera shots mixed, like cut together with like a CG character model or something. That's kind of what it looked like to me. It was kind of hard to tell, but I couldn't imagine that character model put into that setting because they kind of showed them separately. So I don't know. I don't really know what to expect, but it looks interesting. But more importantly, like just the way that they're approaching horror sounds really interesting and different, which is something that horror games need desperately, is, innovation and just kind of new concepts and stuff.
Psychological.
Exactly, yeah. And it's interesting to approach horror from like a psychological perspective, like internally, like kind of like they did with Hellblade, where, she has mental illness and she's like battling demons that in that game they kind of manifest in the real world. I think I haven't actually played that game, but that's kind of what it looks like.
Pretty good.
Oh, you played it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I need to play. I have it. I just need to play it. But yeah, so they're kind of taking that idea, but making it more like true to life. It takes place in the real world. It takes place, I think, in modern times. And it's just like, what does that kind of look like,
I'm
in today's
I'm ready.
style or whatever.
You're
I'm interested.
What?
What?
It's me. They're focusing on me.
Wow.
I am the Hellblade.
It's a lot of shit jokes.
Wait, what? Yeah, I hope they do it right. I hope it's not just some shitty, like overly experimental kind of thing that doesn't really have an identity. I hope they actually like have a vision of a gameplay mechanic that makes sense and is fun to play, rather than just trying to do some kind of artsy bullshit thing that doesn't really work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could kind of go either way. I guess it depends how
if it
ambitious they want to be.
If it doesn't work, they can always do DMC and Devil May Cry 2.
God damn it. See, that's the scary part. This is coming from the team that did DMC, but it's also coming from the team that did Hellblade. So, like, what is this game going to be? It could be anything.
I feel like I have a weird opinion on DMC. Like, I like it, but not as Devil May Cry. Like, if it was something completely different, it would be okay.
Honestly, I think that's the general reception.
Yeah.
Because it's not a bad game. It's just not Devil May Cry.
Exactly.
It's like the Resident Evil symptoms, Like, they make good games.
Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean,
6.
yes.
But yeah, like, they make good games, but they're not really Resident Evil games, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess you kind of tread that territory anyways when you're trying to, take an existing property and you try to turn it into something else. But at least for them, they're starting fresh, so there's not going to be any expectations or limitations as to what they're doing going forward. So it should make it easier to do. Let's just hope that they do it right.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But they didn't show much else. They didn't show like whether it's going to be first person or third person or anything. It was just a real quick teaser trailer and just a little bit of information. But we will see what they do.
Wah, 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 wah.
Wah, 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 wah. And they're also making Hellblade. Hellblade 2.
Oh yeah, I saw stuff for that. Okay.
Now for the meat and potatoes. The big, long, meaty third and final story.
I like potatoes.
Okay, I could have gone somewhere else.
like
Potatoes are delicious.
Oh no.
But Resident Evil 8 is back in the news again.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
What is with your negativity today? I don't understand.
I'm evil.
Well, I mean, the way you said it also sounded like.
Well, because it's still more like rumors and bullshit that's probably not. Well,
garbage.
I don't know. It seems like it's coming from a legitimate source, so some of it's probably going to be true, but we're just kind of in that moment where it's like nothing is fact. We're just kind of speculating and stuff like that.
I've only seen one thing about it, and I already don't like it.
Me too, which is kind of also where the disgust kind of comes from. Like, I want more Resident Evil 8 information, but I don't want it to be what we're getting. So, yeah. But, yeah,
You're joking.
we previously talked about some of the rumors circulating around RE8, including the game having a build that was scrapped and then development restarting about 5 or 6 months ago. This leak was provided by a reliable source, Aesthetic Gamer, and is likely to be true on some level because he's been leaking information for a while, and most of it so far has been like 100% accurate. So he's not just like blowing smoke. He's got to be getting this information from somewhere, relatively reliable. So you can kind of buy into it more than your typical leaked information that comes from just like, oh, this random foreign website or whatever. So there's just a little bit more to it, which is why we're even bothering to talk about it. But today's leak, however, comes from a different source, like I was just saying, a Resident Evil fan site called Biohazard Declassified. They have reportedly received an anonymous tip in regards to Resident Evil 8. So none of this information was able to be verified, so take this with a grain of salt, of course. But there's a note after this that we'll talk about that kind of might give it a little bit more substance than a typical leak. But the supposed leak has quite a bit of information to it, so we're just going to kind of hit the bullet points. We're not going to dive deep into the full leak. We'll just kind of highlight the interesting facts about it. So according to the leak, Ethan will be a returning playable character. The game will not be called Resident Evil 8. It will instead have a, quote, clever title, whatever the fuck that means.
Evil Resident.
God, that would be so terrible.
I'd buy it.
Bio-Evil Hazard. The game will be in first person, which is disappointing. Gameplay starts in a village leading up to a castle, which kind of sounds like Resident Evil 4. The environment will be rural, snowy, and mountainous, and possibly be set in Europe. There will be no molded enemies. The game will feature zombies and wolf-like creatures that will attack the player in certain areas.
In their butt.
They bite your pinky.
Oh, that's not what you're saying.
Oh! There's a persistent, shadowy female enemy that follows you, but will disappear if you shoot it. Ada?
It's Ada.
That would be so. She's a ghost now. And finally, Chris Redfield will be returning in some capacity. Why do you shit on Chris? Everybody shits on Chris.
I hate that guy.
Why?
Because he just needs to die and go away.
I'm confused. So I'm so confused because it's gonna be kind of like Resident Evil 7, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I zoned
then
that
you're
one.
describing, and then you're describing like snowy and castles and shit. I'm like, kind of interested.
Well, it sounds like they're gonna be doing kind of what they did with Resident Evil 7, where they took like the original concept, like the Sweet Home idea and the original Resident Evil, and then they did first person and kind of their own thing with it. It sounds like maybe they're kind of doing the same thing, but they're taking Resident Evil 4, like that kind of a setting and that kind of an experience, and then they're doing their own first person kind of thing with it. So that's kind of my take on it. But ghosts and like whatever that disappearing shadowy female figure fucking thing is, it sounds like a ghost. Nah, don't do that. And then like werewolf, wolf creature things. Why? What?
Werewolves?
Yeah, like
I'm out.
Here's the thing. In the comics, they actually had a fucking werewolf.
Yeah.
And
They were also in space.
I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. It's not what Resident Evil is. Like, you could
Resident Evil Transylvania.
I mean, they could kind of get away with it if they can get away with it if they stay away from like traditional werewolf stuff, because they could have like a mutated like wolf human hybrid thing, but they would have to make it very unique and make it look like some kind of monstrous mutation kind of thing, kind of like the like the chimeras or something like that, where they took like multiple species and they tried to make a thing and it mutated into this monstery thing. You know what I mean? Like, they could get away with doing it that way because the biological thing.
It's gonna be Chris.
he's just a werewolf.
Listen. Like years ago, like 15 years ago, I read a fucking fan fiction.
Oh no.
That was just retarded. With like, they go to this castle on a school trip, like Claire and stuff, and then they get kidnapped by, I think, Wesker and Excella, who's a succubus.
What?
And like Jill becomes a vampire and Chris becomes a fucking werewolf.
No, she becomes a
start
bird.
Arguing. No. This is the longest, terrible, worst thing I've ever read, and now it's coming to life, and I don't like it.
Oh no.
I don't like it at all.
Discarded like a toilet paper.
Oh, I feel like it.
I wonder if Chris will look different again.
Yeah, I look like a fucking werewolf.
He'll be fuzzy. But yeah, so after this information surfaced, Aesthetic Gamer chimed in and both potentially confirmed and also debunked some of this news. He had quite a bit to say on Twitter, so we'll kind of dive into that. So this is all going to be a long quote.
No.
But he said, me and the people who are sharing the RE8 rumor actually talked about this a few days ago. For the record, I'm certain the RE8 that's being talked about is not the final game and is probably what Capcom rebooted about a half a year ago. So essentially, I'm ending the quote there for now. But essentially, they're just saying, you know, like all that shit that we just went over is probably the scrapped version. So like that was one of the canned versions. So we shouldn't see any of that theoretically, hopefully. Yeah, we can hope. Okay, and then he continues. I think Capcom did a vertical slice test with fans to see where they sit with it. I didn't specifically know about the werewolves and witches until we talked about it, but something about the Chris thing and B-movie monster direction fit very well with the two things I know of, so I believe it. But if I believe it, I'm also aware that this isn't the direction the final RE8 is going in, and Capcom is deciding what to carry over and what to severely change about RE8's direction when rebooting it. I guess I'll also mention this. There's also a chance this might be moved to a side game or something. I know for a fact this is not RE8's final version, but it isn't unheard of that they take a scrapped idea and turn it into something else. That's actually how Revelations 2 came into being. This part is purely my speculation, but these tests were done after RE8 had already been rebooted. I'm curious if Capcom wants to see if they can still do something with their work or not. This is one possibility. And that's the end of the quote. So the way that he talks about all this shit, it sounds like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. Like, he obviously is getting information from somewhere. So I feel like at least some of this is probably reliable. And it's interesting to see like a comment about Revelations 2, like how that came. I could see how that would have come out of it, like a scrapped version of Resident Evil, because it does feel kind of like different, you know, than your typical Resident Evil thing, with like the way that they design the zombies and their like tortured design and stuff like that. You could kind of see where they were trying to brainstorm like a different direction for the series and came up with something that kind of deviated a little bit too far, and then they just kind of threw it on a spin-off game and kind of molded it that way. Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. But wait, there's more. The day after the previous leak hit news, yet another leak surfaced, this time from a cosplayer by the name of Chaotic Claire. And I know like that source sounds like immediately unreliable, like, oh, some cosplayer. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know who it is. It's just like when I hear, oh, a cosplayer leaked some information, I don't just immediately go, oh, that makes sense.
Cosplayers are
yeah, they're also video game developers, didn't you know? But the reason why this is worth talking about is because Aesthetic Gamer, again, validated some of her claims. So we'll kind of jump into, again, the bullet points of what she said was leaked. So Ethan and Chris are the main characters in the current build, so that kind of confirms what they were talking about earlier. First person and VR are part of the current version, so that makes sense as well. There have been 3 previous versions of the game in the development process so far. So it seems like they're typical, fucking build the game up and throw it away over and over again kind of a process. So that makes sense. The former ambassador tests were for the 3rd version of the game. So that was something that I thought was interesting too, because a while back I got just this random ambassador playtest invitation. And Capcom hadn't been talking about any games whatsoever at that point. Like they already did the playtest for Project Resistance. Like I guess it could have been Resident Evil 3 remake, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. But it could be this whatever mysterious Resident Evil 8 build.
I got one of those too.
Oh, did you really? Yeah. And there's actually been another one since then. So again, that's 2 games that we don't know what the fuck they are. And these could be these different builds of what Resident Evil 8 was going to be. So that's kind of interesting. Werewolves or dog-human hybrids with reptile-like facial features were part of this test version that they rolled out to the ambassador program. There is a tracker/pursuer enemy with a witch-like design similar to the Evil Within. God, that sounds terrible. Like, not only is it a ghosty thing, but it's a witch too. What are we doing?
Ghost witch.
Ghost witch. The player has hallucinations related to this witch character. Not sure yet if the title will have 8 in it. Game is described as creative, quote, creative, whatever the fuck that means. I mean, I would hope it's creative. What does that even mean? Yeah, we decided to not be creative on this one. We just wanted to be really bland and mediocre,
Your enemies are a box. Open them.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Everything moves around in T-pose. We didn't want to
it's
animate.
A remake of RE7.
Wow. Wow. DNA strand sketches might form the 8 symbol in the Resident Evil 8 logo. And the last thing is the original director isn't involved anymore. Yeah.
It's not sounding good. Sounding good.
Not necessarily. Like I said, this is typical shit where they go through several builds. And I mean, the director thing is kind of concerning. They don't usually turn over directors during the process when they scrap like a build of a game. Usually the director stays in place. So that's a little bit kind of iffy. Yeah, but when we're talking about witches and werewolves and ghosts and shit, somebody needs to leave. Like, do you even know what Resident Evil is? Get the fuck out of here.
Not my Resi.
Yeah.
Nope.
We'll just throw Nemesis in there too. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Piano teeth and all. But yeah, and again, Aesthetic Gamer took to Twitter to add to the conversation on this leaked information, and had the following to say. He said, "I believe your source with everything. This actually fits also perfectly with some opinions I know of for the original RE8 director, and makes more sense to me of how this version came so far along. One thing I'll mention, though, is from what I know, RE8 shifted its direction about a half a year ago. I do believe there's a high chance this game may still reappear in some form that's not RE8. The reason I believe this so strongly is there's some other things about RE8 I know that changed a lot in the last half year. But this version of RE8 may need to manifest in some form due to the connection it has with the other game, or with another game. I will say seeing everything coming out has been very interesting, even if I'm going against the grain in saying that the Werewolf Witch game won't be RE8. From what I've heard, Chris got a redesign. I also will mention whether this Werewolf Witch game manifests. There's another game that should release first that shows Chris's new design. The way this is worded is kind of weird, so I apologize. But yeah, so I mean, just what he said here, he's kind of confirming, like, yes, there is a Chris redesign. He mentions the wolf witch hybrid thing. So like he's confirming a lot of these things that this other leaker is coming up with. So like there's different sources, like different sources coming from different places, but they're starting to kind of align a little bit. Like they're talking about kind of the same things, but there's like, you know, a little bit more information here, a little bit more information over there. But like the stories and the people's conversations are kind of aligning. So it's kind of giving validity to like all this information that's coming out. which is kind of scary because it means that some of it's got to be true, and I really don't want it to be true.
Dear Capcom.
Please fuck off.
Stop. Look at your own lore.
Dear Capcom, I am happy that you're becoming the next Konami.
Oh no.
Ooh.
The weird thing to me though is like this, all this flies directly in the face of like what they've built prior to this. You know, it's like they got a little bit of momentum when they did Resident Evil 7 because, you know, it went back to the roots. It was horror. It was spooky. You know, they brought back the resource management and, you know, they scaled down the action. Like they put it in a place that felt like survival horror. And then from there, they did Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is what everybody wanted. You know, it was more old school survival horror. You know, it had a lot of the elements that make it true survival horror, you know, outside of putting like a fixed camera angle in there. They pretty much gave everybody everything that they wanted. So they showed with that game that they understand what survival horror fans want. So like that should solidify what the next number title needs to be, right? The sales are there. You're getting the feedback that you need. Like everything's overwhelmingly positive. You're hitting all the right notes. And for them to just fucking abandon all that and be like, oh, we're going to do witches and ghosts and werewolves and bring Ethan back. Like, what?
And a bunch of drugs.
Like,
they're like, bro, okay, what if, hear me out, witches?
Like, where did this transition happen where it's like we know what we're doing, we know what the fans want, into we're just going to fucking change everything? Like, what the fuck happened?
I got it. Okay, so they brought witches and wolverines because of the climate, all right?
Climate change?
No. The climate. Think. There's people out there that like to identify as a cabbage, right?
Oh, god damn it.
Okay,
so zombies are identified as wolverines and ghosts.
Oh
Yum,
my
yuck.
god.
Yum, not yuck.
Wow.
Yum, not yuck.
Obey the cabbage.
Obey the cabbage.
So, given all that terrible, terrible news, what do you guys take from RE8 so far? Like,
Shit.
is there anything about it? Like, obviously, there's a lot to dislike, but is there anything that you are excited for or anything that sounds interesting?
Where it is.
Nope, nothing.
I'm interested in the scenery.
I like the idea that, you know, it would be like a snowy environment. I mean, I don't want them to recycle and use like a castle again. You know, that's the more times they use a castle or a mansion or, you know, it starts to take away from the original because it's not special anymore because like half the games are fucking the same thing. That's part of why I didn't like Resident Evil 5 was it's damn near an exact clone of 4. They just changed the story. Like the pacing of the game,
stupid?
the enemies, like it's the same fucking game. There's even kind of a castle-y area when you fight Wesker. Like what the fuck? So and how many times can you do a mansion? You know, how many times can you do a castle? Yeah, it's even the same goddamn mansion, even in Code Veronica.
Like, oh yeah, well I got more.
I got tons of them shits. But no, they need to find
one in Africa apparently.
They need to find something new to do, you know.
A tent.
Like I feel like the one thing you could probably do multiple times would be a city environment just because there's, you know, it's such a big environment that you can do a lot of variation in there without it getting
a big environment and the enemies are based off of the residents. Right? Like boom.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
But I don't know. I wish they would do something new.
What?
Jess? I'm not going to be interested in Resident Evil 8 Twilight Edition.
Oh. What were you saying, Jazz? Jazz, hello?
Everybody sounds like robots. I can't. I don't know.
What were you saying?
I apologize.
I was saying it's stupid that the one thing that you're most excited about for Resident Evil 8 is the fucking snow. Like they have to stop if that's what it's getting down to. Like, well, I'm anxious for, you know, the snow and the castle.
Hey, It's the snow that
Snow
actually
is
kills
scary.
Chris.
Leon's going to Hogwarts, whatever.
Snow is scary, okay?
Yeah,
No,
I know.
I just say that because it's something new. It's the only time they've ever done snow was in 6, and that was a fucking nightmare.
Revelations.
That's my point, though. Like, the snow is
Oh
cool.
yeah,
It's
kind of
nice.
Revelations a little bit.
Yeah.
They had snow in 6, but they were in Russia or something. But like, that's my point. Is like you're talking about like, no, but it's nice that there's going to be snow, and like the content of the game itself is just garbage. Like, we're talking about the environment, the climate, and the fucking global warming.
To be fair, the only thing we really know about is like the potential playable characters, potential enemies, and the environment.
Chris again.
So I mean, there's not like a whole lot to go.
Maybe they kill Chris this time. Just fucking kill him.
But
kill him.
as far as the characters go, I mean, to me, they're committed. Like, they put Ethan in there. Do something with him. I don't like that they just throw a character in there for like a game and then they just kind of throw him away or whatever. If they're gonna throw that character away, kill him or something. Like, that's more entertaining.
They could bring back other characters that they've had sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
yeah.
If they're going to do something with Ethan, like, they should do it now while he's relevant. Don't do it in 10 fucking years. But like, they made it seem like there was something going on with Ethan with, he could fucking regenerate and there's these things happening, and they didn't really explain what was happening there. So like, they should continue that storyline, even if they wrap it up in like the first quarter of the game and then move on. Like, they should have some kind of closure to that storyline. Otherwise it was for nothing. And then And then they have Chris, so at least they have a familiar Resident Evil character in there. Even though you guys don't like him, he's been there from the beginning. He's an important character. He's relevant. And again,
don't mind him.
Since he was in 7, and they didn't really fucking do anything with him, they should do something with him. They should justify him showing up.
Kill him.
And have him being there make sense in the story. So like, this would at least give them a chance to do that. Oh my god.
Starting to sound like me, Jazz.
Jesus.
Send him to Chipotle. Him and Ethan can go to Chipotle. And
yes, that's what 8 is. Ethan and Chris go to Chipotle.
With Ghost Lady.
Yes.
And a werewolf.
Wow. Alec, it's time for a game.
You can go too, Shaun.
Yay!
Hey.
Alright, let's see what... Okay, yeah. Let's do Trick or Treat. Trick or treat. I forgot what the... You can find it, it's fine. Oh no, I don't think we got one, have we?
I don't think so.
What?
No, it's fine. We're talking about intros, and I haven't got an intro for Trick or Treat. It's fine. Cool. Right, okay, so... Does the name Patrick Harlan mean anything to anyone here?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. I tweeted Patrick Harlan. Rock, paper, scissors. I got scissors. When did you last play Resident Evil Survivor? What went wrong with Resident Evil Survivor? Anybody got a context to who this person is now?
Nope.
Is he the voice actor?
Yep.
Wow. You should have asked him if he was embarrassed to record lines for that game.
Well, I asked him what was wrong with it, so... He has not sent a reply, but I want you guys to answer the question. What was wrong with Resident Evil Survivor?
A lot.
Everything.
I mean, I don't know why you thought... Like, part of the reason why Resident Evil 1 and 2 and 3 all worked out so well was on the PlayStation was because they used pre-rendered backgrounds. They could make it look better than it actually, should have looked on the PlayStation, because they could use pre-rendered backgrounds, and then they could take all the hardware and they could focus that on rendering the character models, so they could make it look good. When you take those character models and that kind of a game and you put it into first person and you fucking scale down the backgrounds, it looks like shit. And then you take a first person gameplay mechanic and you mix it with a light gun, it plays like shit. Like, because they're trying to make it play like a light gun game shooter, but they're scaling down the speed to like a survival horror game where like you can't shoot fast and you can't move fast, but it's like you got a gun in your hand. Like you want to run around and shoot shit like a light gun game, and you're not getting that experience. So it feels even slower than it normally would, and it just fucking drags on. The story's terrible. The voice acting is some of the worst in fucking video game history. It's just terrible. Mr. X is there for some reason. What? The whole fucking thing is just a nightmare. There's nothing redeeming about that game. It's just complete trash. So what's wrong with Survivor? Everything. There you go.
So I was right.
Weird thing is, I'd rather play Survivor than 7. It's just weird. I should be interested by 7, but I'm just not.
Nobody likes it. I know.
Oh, you sound so sad.
Jazz, have you played Survivor?
No.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it was released in Canada.
Yeah, I just haven't.
Huh.
Yeah.
Dears,
What? Yes? What?
have you ever played Survivor?
No, I've seen cutscenes though. I've seen play though.
Play-Doh?
Yes. Yes. Yeah, not a fan. So probably won't play it.
Even if someone gave it for free, you would still not play it.
I might try it.
Would you want to play it with the gun, though?
I don't care. Either
See,
way.
I think that would make it a bit more fun. But, yeah.
It kind of makes it worse. Well, it's like I was saying, it's just like when you have a gun, you know, you're supposed to just be able to like point and shoot shit, you know, like it should feel more natural, but everything's so sluggish and slow. It's not built for that. Like it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. Like you can't, you're going to be pulling the trigger like a bunch of times trying to shoot all the bullets in your gun, but on screen it's going to be going like 1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot. Meanwhile, you hit the trigger like 40 fucking times. Like it doesn't feel good.
I mean, shooting people isn't supposed to feel good.
I mean,
Pretty sure you're
Depends who
wrong.
you're shooting.
yeah, it's not supposed to, but
Oh.
I have a question. I hear people talking about like Resident Evil Survivor, and then I hear people talking about Resident Evil Gun Survivor. Is that the same game?
Yes.
Or is it 2 different games?
Gun Survivor is the Japanese version.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, now you know.
No,
The more you know.
Okay, now let's play something a bit different. Let's play... Did I call it? Oh, yeah.
You're worse than me.
What are you buying?
Oh no. Oh no.
I actually got it. Hang on, let's play it.
What are you buying? What are you selling? You can't just... Would you?
Wow.
I thought Shaun was like saying it along.
That's
And I was
what
like, how does he know?
I was like, what the fuck? Freaked out.
Why are you so quiet, Shaun?
Why are you so quiet?
What? Wow.
Okay, the aim of the game of what are you buying is to find out what the name of the game is I bought and how much I paid for it. Okay? So the rules are everyone starts with 5 spendable points. Stage 1, hangman style. Everyone can choose to spend 1 point to guess a letter of the title of the game. For example, the game is called The Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe. So it will start with the Chronicles of blah, blah, blank, blank, blank. And so if a player chooses to guess a letter and the letter A, then it'll be the Chronicles of blank A, blank, blank, blank A, Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe. Are you guys with me?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. And then after everyone has opted to choose to spend a point, then we can choose to guess how much I pay for the game. The person closest to how much I spent on the game will get 2 points.
Oh.
And the person that gets it dead on gets 5 points. Okay?
Ooh,
Sounds good.
let's get it.
Okay. You can also buy a clue, but it will cost you.
Will it cost me my ass?
Possibly.
Oh, no!
It's a bit chilly, but still.
Oh!
No.
Okay. So it goes with blank, 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 6.
How many blanks?
Sure. 6 blanks.
6.
So would anyone like to guess a letter?
Are the blanks words or letters?
They're letters.
Okay.
So it's a one-word game.
Is it... Wait. Is it Rainbow Six?
No, because that's 7 letters.
Oh, yeah.
Since you
I
guessed,
can't... yeah, fuck.
I'm going to take 1 point away from you. Would anyone else like to guess a letter? You don't have to. It might help you.
I will guess the letter.
Okay.
I'm gonna say A.
You said A.
Yes.
You are incorrect.
Wow. Oh, all right.
Yeah, so it's still blank, 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 blank. 6. Jazz, would you like to spend a point? Yes.
I can barely understand you guys right now, so just skip me.
Okay, fine. Would anyone like to buy a clue?
I can guess a letter, right?
Yeah, it will cost you a point now.
So do I go into negative? How?
Yeah, so everyone starts with 5 points, and you can't have 4.
Wait, shouldn't I have more? Because didn't I get points last time we played?
It's a new game every time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me buy a letter. I'll say E.
E. Okay. You are correct.
Ooh.
So it is blank E, blank, blank E, blank, 6.
What the fuck?
And everyone likes to buy a clue.
It's your turn, Diz, so...
I don't know.
Buy a clue.
Pressure. Okay.
Wait, how
fine,
how many points is it for a clue?
I believe it's 2.
Okay, I'll buy a clue. Stick my neck out.
Yeah, it's 2. So, yep. You want to buy a clue?
Yes.
Yeah, what are you buying? Okay, so...
A clue?
Yeah. Hang on, let me just update the scoreboard. 2. Right. In one of the game's endings, we see a bear in space, releasing 2 devils into space. The bear celebrates as the 2 devils are burning and crashing towards the Earth. Whilst the bear celebrates, he mistakenly rips his own space
Tekken
suit.
6.
Yeah.
Oh! Dang!
So I reward you 5 points for guessing it right. So that makes you 9. However, the game is not over.
Oh?
You have to guess how much I pay for the game.
Oh, fuck. What platform is it? Is it it's got to be PS3, right? Or wait, 6. Is that PS3 or 4?
Do you want to buy a clue?
Oh, you shit. I'm pretty sure 7's the only current gen one, so it's got to be PS3. I'm gonna say $7, whatever that is.
Okay, $7. Diz, would you like to have a guess how much I paid for Tekken 6?
I was gonna say 15.
15. Jazz, if you are able to hear me, do you want to make a guess?
I wanted to say 7, but now I don't want to steal Sean's.
No, it's
So I'm gonna
fine.
say-
We can tie. If that's
I'm
what
gonna
you
say
think it is.
750.
Wow, fuck you.
750. Okay.
No. I wanted to go 13.
You want to go 13?
I don't want to be that fucking person. $7.01, Bob.
Okay. So, would anyone like to quickly work out what £8 is compared to dollars? Or I can do it now, I suppose.
Yeah, if I pull up my phone, I think it's gonna make the robots come back.
I can do it.
Yep. So 8 great
Can you-
British
can-
pounds is closest.
So $9.24 for me.
Yep. Sean, you win again.
Hey!
Oh,
We found a game that Sean's actually good at.
Wow!
dang.
Fuck
And
you,
that's the
I
end
won.
of the game.
End of the game.
Okay, it's time for some updates. Not everybody has updates, so just a couple of us do. So I think it's pretty much just you and me, Alex. So you can go ahead and go
Okay.
first.
Okay, so with the update with the laptop, I actually did some recording.
Ooh. Is that Jaws? What?
Mm.
Mm.
That was Credence, but
Oh my god.
so while I was playing Resident Evil Outbreak, I was just playing it to see if it would work with the Alcolo and the laptop, and I ended up playing the whole goddamn thing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, of course, when you're playing it, you can't take the game seriously anymore because you just think of parody and machine in the middle.
The struggle.
Yeah. So, who knows? I might end up doing a little mini machine.
Ooh.
Otherwise, I have been playing Fighting Force, and I actually got started with the script for that.
Nice.
Recording footage,
Ooh.
and I've done a logo.
What?
God.
Does anyone remember when I said about this about a couple of months ago?
Yeah, I remember you talking about it.
So
You didn't
so
really have
name
like a whole lot of details about it, but you mentioned it.
Yeah, so basically it's going to be called Fisting Force.
Oh, I remember now.
How could you forget?
Easily. When you repress it. No.
So the context of the story is that the 4 characters are former hoes to Dr. Zen, the bad guy.
Former hose. I like it.
And they must use their fists and kung fu to take down the evil Dr. Zeng and stop his
Dang.
evil hose.
Fight the man. Fight the man.
Fight the pimp.
Bring the pimp down.
For all the hose.
Pimping isn't easy.
Oh, that's awesome.
The hose will be free.
Yeah,
Don't be
after
in my
that,
basement.
it's all in the works. I am back on the saddle.
Yeah,
Yay! Yay!
boy. Yay. Progress.
Yeah.
Progress.
2020, the year of progress. There you go.
2020, the year of fucking shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, I'm just whipping up a preview for Days episode 13 for Patreon.
God, you said up. Thank God you said up.
What did you think I was gonna say?
You say whip it out. I was like, ah! Like no. God,
Whipping out a preview.
Oh no.
Patreons, don't spend your money.
You're gonna get dick pics on Patreon.
Oh no.
Damn, that's the one time I left Patreon.
But you're also going to get a preview of episode 13. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna make it. It's a really long episode, so it'll probably be like 3 or 4 minutes, maybe something like that. But that'll be an exclusive preview for you guys. So if you were considering supporting us on Patreon, this would be a good month to do that. And then also everybody supporting in February will also be in the credits for episode 13. So that's kind of like a monumental video for the dual verse, because it's like the season finale kind of a thing. So if you wanted to get in the credits, February is the month to do that if you wanted to get in the credits. I also revised the extended intro that's going to be in episode 13, and I cleaned up the song and just kind of put a little bit more time into just making everything look and sound really good, and I'm really happy with how that came out. So there's also going to be a preview of that on Patreon as well, so you guys get to see a preview of the extended opening and a preview of the actual episode as well. And then there's a new blooper reel that will be out either late this month in February or early next month. So, yeah. Expect Patreon support to ramp up. Yeah. So there's more reason to do that if you were considering doing that. There's more incentive to do that. And I want to just make sure that you guys are getting rewarded for any support that you wanted to give to us, because it's very helpful and I appreciate it. So there you go.
Resident Evil reward.
What? Oh, reward.
Patreon again, so I can see his dick.
Wow! Diz will also have a dick pic on there.
I mean,
I won't, but we can hang out. It's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, hang out.
So Jazz's dick will be out. She's just not going to take a picture of it.
Wow.
It's going to be floppy.
Call me.
oh no.
You heard of floppy disks. This is floppy dicks.
Jesus Christ.
It's
cold in Canada.
This has been episode 71. Thanks for joining us this week, everybody. If you enjoyed the show, toss a coin to your Witcher, or toss us some love, likes, subs, nudes, flowers, whatever you want to throw our way.
Toss us an ass, please.
Dick pics. Or head on over to patreon.com/thewardproductions and support us that way and get some extra goodies in the process. If you're afraid of what Resident Evil 8 is turning into, let us know in the comments, or you can tweet at me at thewardpro, or you can contact us at the-ward.com. Until next time, have a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye. Get fucked!
Wow.